Why action isn't working anymore. Now, I am recording this video and it's 1 a.m. so I'm going to keep my voice down. And I'm also going to take my time with my thoughts in this video because I want to deliver something genuinely valuable. So if you don't have the attention span to watch through, I would recommend that you click off, but if you do, then this will be something genuinely life-changing for you. Alright, you're probably here because you are currently doing all the right stuff, but it's no longer moving the needle in your business. I'm going to share a quick story with you about how I was stuck in the same position, and also going to share why expecting action to work is actually what makes it work. Why brute forcing your reality, trying to brute force everything by taking endless action breaks at a certain point. I'm going to go over cause and effect. You probably think you know what cause and effect is. I can guarantee you don't. Going to show you how to construct a business entity that sustains itself, and I'm going to show you how to take action the right way. So, got the seal up. I didn't put a nice candle there to make it nice and moody. With that being said, alright, I know that you are doing all of the right stuff. By the right stuff, I mean you are posting all of the content that you need to be posting. You are putting in the 12-hour work days. You've already built the systems. Maybe you're above 6 figures. You're in the 7, 8, 9 figure range. You are chasing the big deals. You are fighting for the big contracts with whatever. You've built all the funnels that you need to build. You've built the systems. You've hired a team. You're busy implementing AI. Good luck with keeping up with that. I'm too fucking old for that shit. But your revenue is still at a ceiling. And by ceiling, I mean you're at a point where your revenue kind of stagnates. So you don't go far above that. You don't go far below that every single month. Meanwhile, you'll see somebody else post a couple of fucking stories on Instagram and print 100K just like that. And can be confusing. Like, what are they doing differently to me? And that is the trap that many of us fall into, is wondering, what do we need to do differently? What different actions do we need to take in order to move the needle? Why are the actions that I'm taking no longer moving the needle? So, oh shit. I didn't realize I made this kind of nice actually. Put in all those icons and things. I forgot about that. Alright. Quick story. So, why am I qualified to talk about this? What knowledge do I have to share on this? So, I used to be a victim of this problem because one of the first businesses that I started was a content agency, which I started with my friend, called Electa Media. This thing was a fucking headache. We were doing all the right stuff, taking endless action. We were sending hundreds of DMs a day, trying to get clients. We were building systems. We were posting content on this page and our personal brands, doing everything that we were told to do, working 16-hour days at a point, becoming fucking frustrated and burnt out, wondering, why is this thing not scaling? What is the problem? Why are clients not coming in? Why is it so fucking difficult to build this thing? The cycle was like this. Work hard, get a client. Client would take time to fulfill on, take up all of our time, take up the editor's time, have to train a new fucking editor every single client, because one client would take up all of the editor's time. The business wouldn't grow during that time we were working with the clients. Then the client would leave because agencies and content agencies specifically have a fucking terrible churn rate. Then the client would leave and the whole process would start over again. That is why this agency, we never got to above 8K per month. We scaled it to 8K a month. And then I self-sabotaged and the whole thing fucking died. So I don't want you to have that same problem, which is why I want to share how after I broke through this loop that I was stuck in with the information I'm about to share with you, I started and scaled another business, which I started this year, to 5K the first month that I started it with minimal effort. And I'm not going to tell you what that business is because it still works and I don't want people to copy it and saturate it. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because I don't want you to sit over there and say, Regan, my guy, you are scaling this business. You are scaling your coaching business. You've never built anything else. You are just pretending that this works so that you can take my money and your income is from this coaching business. No, this is a completely different business. Affinity Flow, which is my metaphysics business, is also doing well, by the way. But yeah, I've applied this to several businesses, and I've also scaled the content agency to 8K a month and the trading business to 20K a month, so the stuff works. Right. Well, that's cooked. I don't know why that isn't working. Why brute forcing action works to a point. So, when you start out your business, you are copying a proven system, whether that's Russell Brunson, whether that's Sam Ovens, Alex Hormozzi's $100 million offers, whatever. Somebody else figured out a system that works and you implement it, you copy it. You build your offer, you build the funnel, you build the content, you build the personal brand, whatever. However your business runs, or if it's a brick and mortar business, it's different, doesn't matter. You're also copying someone else's energy. So what do I mean by copying someone else's energy? Well, when you follow somebody else's advice, you strictly copy exactly what they say down to the point to set up your business. You're taking on their energy. You're taking on what they said and reproducing it in a way. So they've already built the system, they've already proven it. You copy paste it and it works because they have already made it work. And another reason is the placebo effect. So the placebo effect is when a doctor gives somebody a sugar pill and says, hey, this is a pill that's gonna cure your disease. And the person actually believes that it is a pill that's gonna cure their disease. They take it and it heals them. But in reality, it wasn't really a fucking pill. They had a response to a fake treatment. So the same thing happens to you, where if you believe that the actions that you take will give you a certain result, you fully 100% believe that if you do that, you will get this result, then chances are you will. Now, this is fantastic until a point, like the first 5, 10, 15, maybe 20K a month, this will work just fine, but it breaks at a point. It breaks when everybody is doing the same thing. And the market gets saturated when there are so many people trying to fucking pull cash out of the same market with the same strategies. The market just gets sick of it. Everybody becomes a copy of a copy. Everybody has like the same fucking profile template. Everybody has the same offer. Everybody claims the same results. Everybody has the same guarantees. And prospects become sick of being pitched. Like Instagram, for example. How many people are in your DMs right now in fucking Instagram pitching you something? It's crazy. Now, you're going to end up spending more time on trying to market than actually delivering a good service. And that also breaks things. Like I've seen these people online, like, I don't understand their mentality. They say that marketing is more important than having a good product. I'm just thinking like, where the fuck did you get that mindset from? I did not learn business like that. I learned that you have a good product, provide people value, and then it will grow itself. Anyway. Eventually, you need to start breaking the rules. And then that's when people start hiring mentors, etc. So you get your business to a certain point, and then you need to start coming up with unique ways of doing things. You need to start doing some things differently, make things interesting in order to keep scaling. But at that point, you don't really know what to do because you have reached your limit, and that's where you need to start hiring mentors to help you. By the way, absolutely shameless plug there. If you want to 2 to 5x your revenue in the next 3 months or less, there is a link in the description where I can help you to do that. But I'm not going to gatekeep anything. So when you get to the point where the baseline actions that you take every day are no longer working, what do you do? The first thing I'm going to do is ask a question to you. Do you know what cause and effect is? I'm sure that you think you do. You need to take a look at the actions that you need to take in order to get your business to a certain level. Take a look at the effect that you want, then take a look at the actions that will get you that effect. Now, why does that not work? Because I need to ask you a question. What is the cause of the results in your business? Is it the actions that you take? Now answer that question to yourself. Do you think it's the actions that you take which give you the results? No. Action is not the cause. Action is the effect. The cause is frequency. Frequency comes before the action. So what is frequency? Well, the universe that we live in is a system of forces interacting with each other in specific and complex ways. And the two main forces are electricity and magnetism. And I know this is going to sound fucking stupid and this is going to sound relevant until you hear me out and actually implement it. Then you will be surprised. So, electricity is energy at rest. Magnetism is energy in motion. Energy at rest interacts with energy in motion. They come together and then matter is formed. Then the material reality is formed. So energy at rest is the plane of mentalism. There are three planes of existence: the mental plane, the spiritual plane, and the physical plane. So energy at rest is the mental plane, is the plane of thoughts. Energy in motion is emotion, the spiritual plane of existence. Now, these two things come together to form what we know in the occult and esoteric as an egregor, but I'm going to use the word archetype because you will probably understand what that means. So, if you have one thought, a thought itself would not have much value. Like, you can't really do anything with a single thought, in the same way that you cannot construct a sentence that means anything by randomly scrambling words. But if you take a bunch of words together and put them in a coherent sentence, then it starts to make sense. The same way you take a bunch of thoughts and bring them together in a way that links them together and whatever makes something coherent, makes something make sense. That is a thought form. Now this is going to make sense in a second. When you take a thought form and emotionally charge it, it becomes an archetype. So what is an archetype? If I were to ask you, for example, to imagine a pirate. If you think of a pirate, you would imagine certain characteristics of a pirate. You'd imagine fucking Captain Jack Sparrow or something. Archetypes come before the material. Now, why am I telling you this? Because if you reverse engineer any action, you'll find that it is driven by some thought form that is emotionally charged. It is driven by some archetype. Any and all actions that you take are with the purpose of trying to bring some thought into reality, and all materialized consciousness has a certain archetype associated with it. So the actions that you take, you have a certain feeling that you want to bring about in your business, a certain result that you want to bring about. Now, that is all coming from thoughts. You imagine some scenario in your head, you imagine some outcome in your business in your head, and you want to bring that into reality. You have some desire internally which you want to bring into reality with your business. To go on from that, your business itself is an archetype, is an entity. Your business is a system of complex thought forms which have been put together to bring about a feeling energy. Now, what do I mean by feeling? We do not value anything. We do not care about anything without an emotional feeling. Feeling is the meaning aspect of reality. So the only reason that you want your reality to change, the only reason that you want to scale your business is because you want to feel a different way. You want to feel a certain way, whether that's location, time, financial, whatever freedom, whether that's spending more time with your family, whether that's taking care of somebody with the income of your business, or just building something really awesome. You build the business to bring about that feeling. Now, whatever systems that may be and how complex it may be, whatever teams are involved, if you want to actually change your business to make it grow more, you start by changing the frequency. Instead of trying to take different actions, you change the base construction of the business. Now, how do you do that, Regan? By changing yourself. There's a saying that goes, you don't have a business problem, you have a personal problem manifesting inside your business. If you want a certain outcome in your business, you want that business to make you feel a certain way, you want your business to encompass a certain archetype that will function as an entity which gives you what you want. So you build your business as like an operating system, like its own identity. It takes energy in and spits another energy out. So it would take, for example, attention in, then it would add value to those people, then it would help them achieve a transformation in order to get money from them, and then your business would spit out the energy of money to you. So we take that transformation that you're building within your business. That in and of itself is the archetype, is the brand. Let's take a look at Rolex. Rolex doesn't sell a watch. Rolex sells status. You automatically get the feeling of status when you put on the watch. When I put on this watch, it's not a Rolex, but whatever. When I put on this watch, I get a certain feeling of status. I get a certain feeling of respect when people look at me. The product gives me a certain feeling. This is what your business is doing to somebody else. It's giving them a certain feeling. That's what your brand is. If we reverse engineer this, think about what you built right now. Your business makes you feel a certain way every single day that you work on it. Now I have to ask you, is it aligned? Does it feel like that is what you want? Are you enjoying it, or is it draining you? Is it scaling how you want it to, or is it stagnant? And if you still here up until this point, I'm guessing that it's stagnant and you've hit a revenue ceiling. So we take a look at your business archetype. You remember that thoughts and emotions come hand in hand. This is very important. You need to make a mental note of this. You don't have thoughts and emotions that are unique from each other. Every thought is linked to a certain emotion. If you have a negative thought, you have a negative emotion. And if you feel in a negative emotional state, then you're likely to start having more and more negative thoughts. Now, when you work on your business every day, you are constantly pulled every day by it into some emotional state. Every day that you work on your business, it demands some kind of emotional reaction from you, some kind of emotional energy from you. And the more it grows, by the way, it will amplify that emotional state. But the point is, you are going to continue to add stuff onto it, which are your thoughts, of course, which will grow this complex neural network of an entity. And the more that you grow your business, the more complex it becomes. The more complex it becomes, the more complex as a thought form it becomes, it starts to become its own living blind intelligence. Especially when you start to actually hire a team, which is why people's businesses can operate on their own once they build them to that point. Now, I want you to know, you are the person building this thing, and it is going to amplify the problems that you put into it. It is going to amplify your thoughts, which you put into it. It's going to amplify your emotions, which you put into it. So that is, of course, going to be changed by the actions that you take within your business. It's going to be changed by the input, what you input into the business, how you change it, the actions that you take, and how those actions impact the functioning of the business. Now, I have to ask you, if you want your business to behave a certain way, you want your business to grow, you want to get past your revenue ceiling, how do you actually change that? How do you know what actions to take? You have to reverse and start with the frequency. You don't start by thinking, what do I need to do? You start by thinking, who do I need to be? And by that I mean, what do I need to think and what do I need to feel? Because those are the two building blocks of reality. It's as simple as that. I want you to close your eyes and get into a meditative state. You can do that right now. Imagine your desired outcome. So imagine yourself living in the reality, the desired reality where your business behaves exactly how you want it, is at the income level that you want, it's generating the revenue that you want. Everything is perfect. You are spending time with your family, you have retired your parents, whatever your goals are. You will feel the desired emotion and you will visualize how you want your business to function and the results that you wanted to pump out in your desired reality. Now, when you have done this, you can open your eyes now. When you have done this, when you are visualizing your business from your desired reality, you create the thought form and the emotion that you associate with your desired reality with that business. That creates the building block of the archetype which you want your business entity to be. So you've then got that base archetype which you can start working from, and then you take aligned action. Because when you are in that emotional energy, when you are in that frequency, you will only be able to put thoughts into your business and take actions that are aligned with that frequency. So what happens when you do that? You maintain the state and you take action from it. Then you have this beautiful archetype of the business that you want within you. Then you are emitting the energy of this archetype, what you want, into your business. Then you will have aligned action. You will know exactly what actions to take to work on your business by attacking it from the right internal state. When you do this, the external system that you build in your business will mirror the internal state. It'll be an exact mirror reflection of what is within you. You build the entity from the right energy, it will be aligned. So let's say, for example, you're doing 20K a month right now and you want to do $1 million a month. You imagine yourself from your desired reality where you are hitting $1 million a month. You take on that thought state, you take on that frequency state, then you build your business from that. You automatically get intuition of what to do, you automatically get thoughts of what to do, you'll wake up in the middle of the night and have this brilliant idea of what to do next in your business. You take those actions. It is aligned to that archetype. And in doing this, how can the external entity which you build create anything other than the internal state that is within you? It won't. It will be the external reflection of what is internal to you. So then your clients will react to it in a way that you want them to. Your revenue will grow in a way that you want it to. All of the systems that you build will be aligned to that archetype because you will know exactly what actions to take to bring that about into reality. And on top of that, you will start to love working on your business because it's going to demand that same emotional energy from you. But it's the emotional energy that you desire to give to it. And with time, you stay in this state long enough while you're building your business. It has no choice but to manifest into exactly what you want it to be. That is how you take action. Action is not the cause, it is the effect. The cause is the frequency. Your frequency starts within, and the actions that you take are the effect of that frequency. Actions are just involved in the materialization of your reality. They're important, but don't start with action. Start with alignment to what you want. And with that being said, that's the end of the video. So go and implement this. Go and try it and you will see results. But if you do need extra support, there's a link in the description. You can check my website. You can check how I might be able to help you with this, and you will find out how I can help you 2 to 5x your revenue in 12 weeks or less using these types of systems. With that being said, have a good night.